In the last video, I decided to turn these cabinets into something like an old IBM Mainframe, except useful. Back at the old workshop, we cut away the top, masked and cut the control panel, beefed up the frame, and even started 3D printing some custom circuits for it. Everything was going to finish in the next few weeks, as long as nothing changed. Which of course, by the time I finally uploaded part 1, the entire layout was different. About this time, I started 3D printing my own server rack rails at home, getting my Raspberry Pis off the wall, adding a tablet to the side to control the headless servers, and after about 3 or 4 days of adding to the rack, I quickly ran out of space on the third desk I had just bought a week ago. Here you can see it blocking my second monitor to the point where I just left the screen off, instead of moving my head back and forth to read text behind it. Thanks to browsing around on Thingiverse, I discovered quite a few cool things that didn't quite fit in my non-standard size rack, but were designed for a standard 19-inch rack. At this point, I started looking around Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for used racks. At the time I searched, there were only 2 options under $200, both of them incredibly far away. So instead of spending $100, I spent about $5 on a piece of wood, 3D printed a guide in about 20 minutes, and started drilling away. As of June 14th, it looked like this, but thanks to some suspiciously well-timed ads on Amazon, I discovered I could order server rack rails in just about any length I wanted. But I didn't want just any rails, I wanted this hardware to be from a reliable company. For the size I wanted, they were the only seller offering prime shipping, and they were half the price of anyone else for the same size. One thing of note is that the holes for the rails I got were circular, not 3/8 inch square as some of you might be expecting. The rails screwed into the wood just fine, and I flipped the vertical wood pillar around so that now I'll have a smaller non-standard rack on the right if I want to 3D print some adapters for that at some point in the future, which I probably will. As of a week ago, I had both network switches, 1 gigabit, the other a 100 meg gift from my father-in-law. I also had a couple shelves that could be used for a spare laptop or two, effectively turning those into 1U servers. As of 4 days ago, I designed and printed a 2U holder for 8 Raspberry Pis with space for LED indicators, and over the last couple days we finished nearly all of the woodwork, and paint. All that remains is getting glass in the doors, finding screws for the doors, and getting the electronics knocked out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get notified when the next part comes up. If you're interested in some of the other things I've 3D printed or built for case design, then check them out here, and some of those cases you can actually download and print yourself completely for free.